One of the hardest things to do with brush lettering skills is to develop a critical eye, but it's really important that we work on this. So watch my video and I'll help you figure this out. Developing a critical eye is really important to improve your brush lettering. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So the first thing you need is a large brush tip pen. I have the Dream pens and we're going to use the large end of it. So I want it to be a large brush pen and also fairly light colored. I'm also going to grab the Kelly Creates fine liner in black, and you'll see why I'm using this in a minute. So the first thing you do is, you could practice, let's use the pink, you could practice your basic strokes, for example. So we'll look at strokes first and then some letters and a word. So when you have a critical eye, you're able to observe your errors and improve your technique. So first of all, I'm using my lined pad. It's awesome for the large brush pens. So this will be my X height right here. And I'll do the basic strokes. So let's do the underturn, the overturn, the compound curve, the reverse compound curve, the ascender loop, the descender loop. I'm just going to keep it on the same line as that, and the two ovals. So the regular oval and the reverse oval. All right, so writing them out doesn't matter if you have line paper or grid paper. And now a good idea is to grab a fine, I have a fine liner in the 05. I wouldn't go much bigger than this, because what we're going to do is we are going to outline. So you're going to outline your brush strokes and you're going to be able to see where you need improvement. So you don't need a super steady hand. So don't stress too much about it. You're just going to follow along as best you can. But the important thing is to follow along as best you can and make sure that you are have smooth lines and nice transitions. So inside the underturn, for example, you should see this U shape. Okay? And for some of us, it's hard to step back and figure out what we're seeing and what we're not seeing, because often we see the ink. We don't see the interior parts of our strokes, and that's what will make the difference, using a fine liner to outline them. So let's do the same on the inside of this overturn. I'm going to outline and see what my U shape looks like. And you could go on the outside as well. The inside is super important. And again, don't worry too much about this part. What you're looking at are these interior spaces. So let's work on the compound curve, doing the same thing, drawing this line, and that way we get to see exactly how our curves are looking when we are doing our brush strokes. And you should see the key part for our turns, these underturns and overturns, are these nice rounded shapes. Now, if you're doing bouncy lettering, the shapes will be slightly different, but they still should be very even or equal. Okay, here is our compound curve that's reversed. So I'm going to just start by, again, focusing on that curve. And I could stop there, but I'll continue on doing my outline here. And then what's important is the interior part of this curve. And I can look and say, okay, I can really see clearly that these curves are looking very nice and smooth. My ascender loop, I would like you to draw first the interior of the teardrop shape, right along the edge of your ink, and you can see, do you have a nice loop shape like that? And if you are practicing just this stroke, if you draw this line around each one of them on the inside of the loop, they should all be the same, and that's how you can work on your consistency. And this part, it doesn't matter as much. Again, I'm going to do the inside, this teardrop shape of my descender loop, and I do want these two loops to be the same. This is a little bit larger, so I can see I need to focus on that, and then we'll just follow along the edge to do that. Okay, so I find this super helpful with the loops to draw the inside of the loop with the fine liner, tracing around exactly, like try not to cheat because it's important we're honest with ourselves. Now my ovals aren't very good, which will be a good example for you to see. Use your critical eye. Now we're going to go on the inside of the oval, and I'm going to try to keep really close to that, and it's looking good. It's a little bit misshapen on this side, but I like the bottom and top of my oval, and what you should see inside is another oval, right? If you're working on your ovals, drawing them correctly with your brush pen, you should see this oval inside there. You can go around the outside, and that will help you as well. Whoopsies, I went off there. Okay, reverse oval, same idea. I'm going to draw around and really stay on the inside of that ink edge. And this oval should be the same size as that oval. Now, honestly, when you're writing and you have letters and words with these ovals, and if they're a little bit different, nobody's going to notice. But for practicing, it will be really helpful if you are doing this. Ooh, wow. Fine motor skills here. If you are outlining the interior spaces, you will really see exactly what you're doing. So you can do this with letters. Let's just do an example of the letter A. All right, there's my oval, and there's my underturn. So we're going to take our fine liner. I'll zoom in. And I'm going to outline the interior, it's hard to say. Make sure, oh, it looks really good. That oval inside looks really good. And also the kind of the interior space of this underturn. And see if I have a nice curve there. And I can see it very clearly. Again, you can continue and outline the entire stroke, or just do those two parts there. All right, and now let us do a word. Okay, so let's do, I just do a simple word, like I'm going to do the word, I'll do an H, the word high. So I want my ascender loop to be nice, and it also, you know what, it makes you think, ooh, I better really be careful and make sure that loop looks good, so when I outline it, it's going to look nice. Okay, this is a little bit off, but whatever. Oh, I was going to write a word. There you go. There. Okay, so now I test, I check, I develop my critical eye. This loop I can see is a lot bigger than I intended, but you know what? That's okay, as long as the shape of that teardrop is nice inside. Now let's take a look at the inside of this curve. Do I have a nice curve? It's not bad. I actually don't like this. It's not too parallel, so I prefer this to be moved over a bit. Let's look on the inside of this this compound curve. You can see that, and I'm not kind of completing my outline, but you can definitely complete it. And this underturn, yeah, that looks good. So ideally, I would want this to be more similar to that, but once again, it's just about personal preference and overall making sure the integrity of your strokes are there and you have good structure. So give this a try. I think you'll find it'll help improve your technique. And thanks for watching.